last week, I think we were a little bit disruptive where we talked about don't go networking to sell to the room. I thought this week I'll try and fight the helicopter that's flying over your head, Gillian, in the background. And we're going to talk about what can you do instead. And for me, one of those ways is collaborations.
Yes. Yeah. So what happens? So people, we've done the whole going networking to look for clients. We've told people that's not the best thing. So what happens when you stop going just to look for clients and you switch it up and you start actually looking for potential partnerships, collaborations?
And you're right. There's a few different ways that people word that, aren't there? We
Yeah.
hear about JVs, joint ventures, collaborations, partnerships. They're all very similar. Not identical, but they're all very similar. And when you go networking, I think it's a great opportunity there. But how would you approach this? So we touched on this last week in last week's episode, knowing your ideal client. So that is a fundamental thing that I work with people on, that you work with people on. But it can change if it's not working for you. You can change. You're like, oh my god, I've set 3 years ago. I set my ideal client, and I've still not had one yet. Maybe you need to change it. But let's assume for now that you've got your ideal client in mind. Who are the other people who also have the same ideal client? That's the mindset to approach this with. So when we go in networking, we say, I'm looking for people that I can collaborate with. Oh, really? That sounds interesting. Tell me more. Rather than, no, I'm not buying your stuff.
Exactly.
It opens people up, doesn't it? So you, to give this some context, you've got some exciting news to share on the subject of
Have.
partnerships, haven't you?
I have, fresh off the press. We announced it on Friday, just gone. So I met a guy, Adam Jones, through Circle Networks. Hit it off, just got on really well on a personal level. Had a one-to-one, got to know each other. Quickly realised, he talks about LinkedIn strategy, how to actually use LinkedIn with some thought process behind it to get clients. And I found myself do a lot of people. So in the last episode, we mentioned my IT providers, and that what I'm doing for them is writing LinkedIn content and doing their outreach, so connecting with the right people. So he had this bit of a service and I had this bit of a service. And we were just talking one day, and like everything, people need accountability, don't they? So he was saying to these people, right, here's your strategy, here's what you need to do. They don't do it. So he said, oh, you do the outreach? So I was like, yeah. He said, oh, I might be able to pass some clients your way. Yeah, brilliant. So he spoke to the first client, they came on board, I started doing it. And then I said, I think there's a big gap in the market here. And I really like Adam. Like I say, I think kind of people we want to work with are the same. We're both very much like, we won't just work with anyone. We're quite strict and we will say no to people. Our morals are the same, our ethics are the same. And I said, I think we should market this, And he was just like, yeah, I love that. So the next, literally in the space of a week, we'd kind of gone from, oh, you could do this bit for me, to, shall we market this, to, so he came to Somerset on Sunday, met him in person for the first time. He came round here and we spent an afternoon mapping out this full service. So we're going to be offering end to end, for want of a better phrase, LinkedIn. So the full strategy, the content creation, the outreach, the DMs, all done ethically and nicely and on brand. But yeah, we're properly sort of teaming up.
So your ideal client.
Yeah, both going after the same professional services, IT, accountants, the people that in those drier industries that struggle a bit.
And you've identified a pain point. And you've both got something that complements each other. So you both deal with the same ideal client, but you do something different. And you're coming together to create something new, where there's a bit of a gap in the market and no one else is doing it.
Yeah. Yeah, so the people aren't dropping out of us, they're not just creating content with no strategy, or they've not got this shiny strategy and no time to implement it. It's like, we do it all.
Okay, so 2 weeks ago, we talked about solo doesn't scale. And this is a perfect example of that. So coming together to collaborate where there's two of you doing it feels more like fun. That's why you and I work well together in Circle Networks, because we're just not doing
Yeah.
it alone. And
Yes.
when you've got other people to bounce off, so going networking gives you this opportunity to meet people. So drop the networking work. It's just a place where you meet people, and it's an opportunity to build relationships. I think what makes our events different is that we help people get to know people first. The business part comes second. So,
Yeah, because I wasn't looking. I didn't go out looking. I didn't go, do you know what? I want someone to do LinkedIn strategy that I can. That thought didn't. It was the relationship came first, and then this, like, oh, we could work together and actually we get on really well, so why wouldn't we?
yeah.
So you see those opportunities,
But
to open.
you've built the relationship first, and then you find the opportunities. How often does that happen, though, where we meet people and we get on with them, and we get on with them so well, and we think we should do some business together? What if and then you brainstorm and you come up with things. You can't brainstorm with somebody. We can't brainstorm on your own. It takes the whole concept of mastermind is that two people or more come together to create a mastermind. And that's what you've done. It's a mini mastermind with the two of you to fix a problem that no one else is fixing and create a new service where there's no competition. Right? I think everybody else is trying to do, I don't know, neither of us are web designers. So let's take web design. There's a million web designers out there, and everyone's trying to compete with the other web designers. If you then partner with somebody else that's a coach and you do web design and coaching for whatever reason, then you've got something new and unique. And you're creating a new category there. And then there's nothing to compare it to, and it becomes much easier because in another world, they need to go. So it might be a sales coach and a web designer. And so the web designer is going to help you get more traffic, get more leads. And then the sales coach is going to help you turn those leads into clients. Oh, because it's not just about getting leads and traffic, is it? It's about getting clients.
Yeah. Well, you think how many standalone services there are where people then get this shiny thing, and then there's always a so now what, isn't there? And if you fill that, major USP.
So, I mean, we're talking potentially another phrase that people might use is referral partners as well. But they're people.
Yeah, so that's slightly different, isn't it? Yeah. But still, brilliant. And I've got one of those as well through Circle Networks.
So if you're struggling with this, think about some of the celebrity names that you know in the world of business coaching and launches and book launches and coaching things and events. They all collaborate with other people. What do? They post about somebody else's stuff on their social media. So I've got my social media audience. You've got yours, Gillian. If I post my stuff about you on there, then it's going to open my audience to somebody completely new and vice versa. The same with if I speak at events about you. If I've got a different audience to you who might be interested in your stuff, it's going to do that. And the same with my email list. If I start emailing them, and that's what the big influencers do, and we can replicate what they do in our own worlds.
Yeah, absolutely. This whole topic is really exciting, isn't it? Like just talking about it, I'm like, God, there's so much potential, isn't there, if people just see it and utilize it instead of just this like closed off vision. In fact, you know what? I'd advise people to just not pitch and not look for clients at networking for like 2 weeks or longer, and specifically go looking for these other potential opportunities.
Yes, and that will do a couple of things. It'll change your mindset to look for bigger opportunities. And, we're all familiar with the parable of the golden goose. Somebody to collaborate with is like creating a golden goose. Rather than if you go networking, and I've met some people that go networking to sell over the years. They go networking to sell, and if there's 20 people in a networking group and they get 10 clients from it, at some point there is no more clients to have. And then they cancel their membership and then they go and move to another one. They are just hunting. So in the networking world, they're called hunters rather than farmers. What we're talking about is being a brilliant farmer, where you partner with somebody else to nurture opportunities and create something new. But it changes how you come across to other people. So you don't come across as that person that's desperate for business. if I'm listening to you and you're saying I'm looking for people to collaborate with, and I don't really know who they might be, but here's what I do, and who do you think might be a good fit for me based on knowing me, then it opens my mindset to who. Oh, actually, I'd never thought of putting you in touch with this person because they're never going to be a client of yours, so I never put you in touch with
Yes.
them. But
Uh-huh.
actually, now that I think about it, you two would really hit it off because it's personality led, isn't it?
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely.
Do you want me to introduce you to any old idiot?
No, I do not.
It's like it narrows it down a bit, doesn't it? We all know them. So you want
Yeah.
introductions to people who have got a similar personality to you that offer a different service that deal with a similar kind of client. So have a think about your ideal client. Who works with? So if you write down your ideal client, list out some people who you've loved working with, and then give them a call and ask them who else they work with. So you might work with me for your networking if it was me ringing them. But what other people are suppliers to you or that you've worked with in the past? They are your future potential collaborators. And there's a difference. So if you meet me at a networking event, Gillian, and I say I'm looking for introductions to somebody that could be a client, there's a little part of us that goes, I'm just not sure. I know someone, but I don't know if they'd be interested in buying that thing right now. We make the purchasing decision for someone without
Yeah.
even having the conversation sometimes. Whereas with me asking for an introduction for someone to collaborate with, it's going to make them money. It doesn't cost them anything. You're probably
Yes.
more open to making that introduction because it's going to make them money rather than them spending money.
Yeah, exactly.
So I think there's an opportunity to get more introductions
Yeah.
from your networking by asking for introductions to people that you can partner with and collaborate with.
Yeah, 100%. I'd agree with that. Yeah. And it's flattering, isn't it? What? Asking someone to collaborate and work with you, you're basically saying, I really like you. I've had people say to me, like, I just really want to find a way to work with you or help you. And it's usually because I've helped them a lot, or maybe I've sent work their way or whatever it is. But then they're just like, literally, how can I help you? And it's nice, it's flattering for someone to say, yeah, I think I could collaborate with you. You seem like an alright. It's almost more flattering than like being someone's ideal client, isn't it? Because you're not saying, well, I'll tolerate you to take your money. To collaborate on that level, like you've got to really, really like that person and really gel, haven't you?
We talk a lot about friendship fuels business. And, it's a core value within Circle Networks. That's the foundation of relationship building, isn't it? Being a good friend. You've got to have similar values. You've got to be happy to be in someone's company, to go on the beach and drink rum and have a bad head the next day, as some of us have done recently. But right, so here's the thing. So you've met somebody through online networking, developed a brilliant relationship, and already agreed that you're going to go into a joint venture together. And then the last part of it was, we'd better actually meet in person.
Yeah.
And like, I just want to drop this bit in. So I think that online networking saves people lots of time. I think it's good enough to meet the right kind of people and find out if they're the right fit or not. We will take clients from anywhere, won't we? I mean, by anywhere, I mean outside of our geographic area. And probably, there's probably not enough. If your ideal client is an MSP, an IT provider, there's probably not enough of them in your local area, is there? So going networking gives us, online networking gives us economies of scale in that rather than having to drive to another region, I can network there. But online networking is very efficient from a time perspective. It's a 90-minute event. You might log on 5 minutes early, but it's only a 90-minute event. I went to an event the other day that was, in theory, 35 minutes away, and it took me an hour and a quarter to get there because I had to leave early. So I left an hour and 3/4 before it started to allow for traffic. And then I had the drive back afterwards, and it just becomes this half a day or more type thing.
Yeah.
So I do in-person stuff, and I really enjoy it, but I find it really time-consuming, so I do it once a month. On a weekly basis, I love online stuff. We wouldn't be able to record.
Definitely.
Would we have recorded this if we had to do it in person?
No, probably not.
I don't think we would have ever met, would we?
No?
I certainly wouldn't have come to Somerset for networking, and you probably wouldn't have come to Cheshire. So there are so many things that come from this. And Adam, that we've been talking about, he's just sold his house to become a digital nomad and bought a camper van, and him and his wife are gone traveling around Europe, aren't they? It's a new world that we live in now, and there are so many opportunities that if we approach, so the premise of this really is, approach your networking with an open mind. And see the opportunities that are probably, it's not there. Someone's going, come networking and you can collaborate with this person.
Yeah. It
doesn't work like that. You've
got to be open to all of the possibilities, not just one.
But then you've got to be choosy as well. And you touched on this. So what did you say that you wanted? You wanted someone with the similar values, the similar client.
Values was probably top. Adam didn't already have the same ideal client as me. We decided to carry on down my ideal client route because they're so underserved. But for me, it was the personality and values. I knew from talking to him that he didn't work with anyone. He wasn't one of those people. There's a lot of people in business who will just take any client because they want the money. That is not me. I've turned down plenty of people, and I knew that he was the same. So that was a biggie. And just the way he talks about, the lack of BS and being a bit more disruptive and a bit different and just doing things ethically. I know a lot of people say that, but not a lot of people mean it. But
once there's the opportunity to earn a bit of money, I'll just take this one. But so it's sticking to your guns.
Yeah.
Okay, right. Let's wrap this up then. So, who could you collaborate with? What if you collaborated with somebody? You bring two different audiences together to create something new for those people. What could that do for you in your business if you're watching this? So I'm big on writing stuff down rather than typing it. So just sit down and think about your clients that you've loved working with in the past, and then what other things would work well with those people where you could have a bit more fun, earn a bit more money, perhaps do a bit less work and earn a bit more. Why wouldn't you want to do that? But definitely, if you haven't watched last week's episode, go back and watch that, because you've got to turn up as the right person for these events. So go back and watch last week's episode and get yourself ready for this. But approach your networking with this in mind: collaboration, creating opportunities. And as an example, a couple of people in our net, we've just had a new guy join, Martin. He was involved in a charity called Genie's Wish, an amazing charity that's local to me. So obviously in the charity world, they're fundraising. We've got another great guy in our network who organises firewalking. And I was like, and then a friend of mine's just bought a hotel. So I was like, right, so we finally have got a venue for firewalks. So it's got a big car park. So I just told Nagendra, by the way, we're doing a firewalk for charity here in November. And he was like, yeah, okay. And then I spoke to Martin and said, I got this idea. Brilliant. I think I can get people on that. And then I rang Keith, who's like, I love to. And so I've brought all these different people together to create. Now, there's nothing in it for me other than I want to support them. So I've created a collaboration. So it doesn't have to be about you either. So it might be that you're just a brilliant matchmaker and go, oh my God, Gillian, you should meet Adam, because the two of you could make magic together for your clients.
Yeah. Yeah, sometimes we're better at spotting things for other people than for ourselves, aren't we?
Definitely. Okay, that feels like the perfect time. So go with intention this week to start talking about collaborations and look at people differently. Who could you pair? So who do you know that would get on brilliantly? And if you just brought those two things together, it's going to create something new. And then who could people introduce you to that you could collaborate with? What could you create? Right. Thank you very much. Thank you, Gillian.
Thank you.